How to have a mindset of a millionaire and the things that I've learned from other successful people along the way. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to learn from successful people, what their mindset actually looks like, and finally, how to maintain that mindset. And if you stick to the end, I'm going to give you a free gift. I interviewed a guy the other day on my podcast, and this resonated with me, so I'm sharing this, which has led to my financial success. So when I was younger, I had severe learning disabilities, dyslexic, all that stuff, right? We all hear it before. I was actually held back in the first grade back down to kindergarten. You could go ahead and laugh at it. It is what it is. But the thing is I was good at sports. So I identified that I was good at sports. And as I got older, I would look at and equate like work ethic and things like that. If I was competing with somebody at a job, I would think about sports and how I would beat them at if we were playing whatever sport I was in, right? So that's how I started to train my brain on being almost competitive, but more than anything, getting out of this slump of being average, because being average is only going to get you average. So trying to excel or put yourself above, not that I'm better or anything like that, but it was more like from a competitive standpoint, like, are you really giving it your all, or are you kind of suppressing yourself? So that was, I thought for a long time that was my deal. And I did an interview the other day, and that's exactly what this guy would pull from when he was younger too, until things just end up sticking. I always say you're either influence or influenced, meaning you tell your dreams or something like that to somebody and they either squash them or you squash their position, if that makes sense. Like, you want to be so strong in your conviction and know, and that just comes over time. The one thing that I learned in doing all this is sometimes you got to get laser focused or obsessed 100% with the objective in hand. For example, I knew my path of what I needed to do to be successful, but I was kind of getting in my own way. A mentor of mine brought up where my attention was, and it was not focused on the goal. Although I said I wanted something to be successful in real estate, I was not focused on real estate. And what happened was I got so obsessed with the goal, I ended up submerging myself in it. This meant I had to retrain my brain on everything. All the information that I was taking in, I had to retake in positive stuff on a daily basis. I had to listen to positive things. I needed to rethink the way that I was thinking. I needed to surround myself with like-minded people that were thinking the exact same way that I wanted to be. They were essentially where I wanted to go. So I followed those people, and in doing so, I hit a little bit of a road bump along the way. I became homeless. There's other things that happened, and during that, I knew I was on the right path. I guess sometimes you need to shed some things before other things could come to you. And this was that example for me. I'm not saying that you need to become homeless or anything crazy to become successful. I'm just sharing my story. So I needed to retrain and rethink that, you could call it brainwashed. I needed to brainwash myself in my old ways that I was taught so I could look at things from a different perspective. I just want to ask you this, because this is a key piece, especially getting going. You're kind of fragile as you're getting going in your career, and especially in real estate investing. So everybody's got an opinion on it. So think about like you got these new legs and you're just getting your confidence going. You want to be careful of who you share information with. More importantly, you want to be careful of what information you take on in your brain. Let me explain this. If you're at home and someone you know walks into your house, your brand new living room, whatever, and they're dumping garbage, what would you do? You probably, to be mad would be an understatement, right? But we let people do that all the time in this piece of real estate. We take their beliefs and all that negative stuff in, and we just let them dump it. Why? You don't need to sit there and take that. It's one of the first things I learned is not to let people's opinions in and not to let it deter me. Sometimes easier said than done, but now I know when someone says something like that, which I really don't get anymore, but if that was the case, I know I'm on the right track at that point. Another thing is taking 100% ownership of where you're at in your life, financially, spiritually, physically, everything. You have to take responsibility for it. And once you do, everything else will start to come in line. Once you realize you're in control of it, nobody else is, things will get so much easier for you. With all of this comes confidence. Confidence is key in any industry. When you talk to people that are successful, uber successful, their confidence, they are unshakable. That's where you want to be. I'm not saying fake it till you make it. I'm saying these things take time to cultivate, but through the process of doing everything that we're talking about, you will become unshakable. A couple things that successful people do. Again, they surround themselves by other successful people. They network with successful people. They constantly get themselves out of their comfort zone. They're always trying to learn, whether it's of reading a book or listening to a book, journaling. These are all things that successful people do. Before I get to my last points, do yourself a favor, click on the subscribe button below, follow us, let us bring you incredible information like this to you daily. One of the key things to maintain is watching where you're at in your comfort zone and making sure that you're always learning and always pushing yourself out of that comfort zone. One of the key qualities that I like to see in successful people is also how they respect other people. And in doing so, you got to stay humble. Staying humble is one of the things that you could allow yourself to always be that freshman and always learning something new. I'm not saying spread yourself thin and wide, but when you do go in and you learn something, keep in mind, be humble, treat people with respect, because you're always going to be that freshman at some point. And that's one of the key things. I think a lot of people think that they have to be rude and mean. That is a quality of some millionaires, but it's not the quality of all. You got to ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to be on the day-to-day? Do you want people mad at you and not liking you? Or do you want to attract people that actually want to help and work with you? So my free gift for you for following us to the end is my digital copy of Truth or Comfort. This book goes through my trials, some of the stuff that I've had to overcome along the way. I think you'll find it valuable along your journey. Maybe you could pull from some of it as well. If you're looking at real estate, I think this is a book that would definitely benefit you. Click on the link in the description and get your free digital copy. And once you have this, it'll probably equal more of this.